welcome or welcome back. My name is Jennifer, and here on my channel I like to chat about all things beauty and makeup. And today I have a we're gonna do a drawer of shame. Now, I don't have something from every category to use that I haven't used yet, but I have almost 40 eyeshadow palettes. So we're gonna spin to pick an eyeshadow palette. Some of these I've used once, but it's been a very long time, like maybe when I first got the palette, or I've only reached into it for like one shade. The rest of them are completely untouched, save for maybe a swatch or two. So I need to work my way through these and really figure out what I think about them and if I want to get rid of them. So without further ado, I don't have a screen recording app on here. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. My bad. Let's see what we get. Urban Decay Metal Mania. Okay, that's actually really exciting to me. One moment. All right, so here's the Urban Decay Metal Mania. I picked this up at TJ Maxx for a steal of a deal, especially considering it is still actively sold at full price in, I know it's at Ulta. I don't know if it's at Sephora. So let me put a face primer on. I'm trying to use the very last little bit of this primer. For some reason, I've always been more prone to breakouts in this area. I used to get really bad hormonal acne. Since I had a hysterectomy, that's not been too much of an issue. I don't have much left on this bad boy now. That's exciting. Will I finish it up in 2024? That remains to be seen. What do I want to use first? I guess we'll go like super simple with this crease looking shade, Sound Tower. I've already primed and set my eyelids, so I use wow, this is very powdery. I don't remember my Urban Decay shadows getting quite that much kick up. I'm gonna take the brush out because that's starting to annoy me. Yeah, I don't remember my other shadows getting quite that much kick up, which, I mean, kick up is not really a bad thing. I tap my brush off anyways, but just a lot more than I expected. I do like the mirrors in these bigger palettes, which I don't think I have any other naked palettes. I just sold my Robin Eisenberg one that I had, which if you have not watched my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter, which that will probably go up after this anyways, so probably nobody's seen it. That's a spoiler, so sorry I didn't throw a spoiler alert in there for you. But I found this palette at TJ Maxx, I think for like $23, and I couldn't pass it up. Yeah, I don't think I still have the outer box that had the price tag on it, but that's usually about my like limit for an eyeshadow palette at TJ Maxx. Is, you know, the more expensive ones I don't really want to pay more than $25 for. Archie, my gosh, cat is losing his mind. That's a pretty shade. It's actually a little bit darker than I expected it to be. It goes on a little bit darker than it is in the pan, so I think I'm going to use a little of the shade Double Kick to blend it out some. Okay, that shade does not have anywhere near as much kick up as the other one did. So maybe it's just that shade. Not that I'm like an Urban Decay aficionado by any stretch of the imagination. If you have seen before on my channel, I've talked about how I was not really super into makeup when I was a teenager. So a lot of the beauty gurus that, you know, like grew up using makeup and like really know what they're doing, and talk about like the nostalgia of the original Urban Decay palette and all that. Like that wasn't my experience. Mine was more of being like, I had some Almay eyeshadows and I had a Mary Kay eyeshadow palette. Which, don't get me wrong, Mary Kay has some good makeup. At least they did back in the day. I don't know how they do now, because the last few things I got from them, I wasn't really a fan, especially lipsticks. It was like once I started using like the mainstream products that I have and a lot of indie eyeshadow, I was just wholly unimpressed with Mary Kay, especially their lipsticks. I used to think they had such good lipsticks, but the last one I got was awful. And I really only bought it to support my cousin's wife. She's so sweet. And I ended up, I think, decluttering that lipstick. But I just realized that there are other ways I can support that don't involve me wasting my money on stuff I don't like for things that I'm going to throw away. All right, so far I've used these 3 shades. I know, what a cool looking palette, and I've used the 3 most boring shades. We're gonna keep being boring. I'm gonna use this dark brown in the outer corner. I feel like MLM's multi-level marketing, I feel like they are like the way of the past, and they're slowly crippling. I feel like they're slowly going under. And any company that still operates on that model, I feel like is not doing anywhere near as good as it was 15, even 10 years ago. I saw 31, which I was a 31 consultant, aka I signed up to get the discount, and I saw that they are going out of business or filing for bankruptcy. I can't remember which one. But in any case, it really wasn't a surprise. I have seen hardly anything from them. I don't know anyone that's a consultant anymore. They honestly, they price themselves out of having consultants. Like, their commission structure was turned into one of those that really took advantage of people, and you really were only on the highest tier making money. You know, if you were in the lower tiers, it was not great. That was the last time I looked at the structure before I decided I just needed to not be involved with them anymore. I think I'm gonna take maybe my All Done Up palette, and I want just a little bit of the shade Natural. It's just a lot lighter of a shade, and it really blends out the edges. I use this palette a lot, which is funny because I had it on the chopping block for a while, and I realized that I may not like it for all-in-one looks. You know, I do like this row here going down that row, and I like this green row and this row, but like these 2 middle rows I don't get a ton of use out of, And I struggle with the shimmers because I feel like they're almost too metallic for the natural looks that I tend to want when I go for this color story. I don't know if that makes sense. I have the same issue with an Adept Cosmetics palette that I have too. But I remember Dashing Diva. That's the nail stickers that I usually use. I'm not wearing any right now. I ended up peeling them all off, and then I had to give my nails a break. I had a lot of like ridge lines in my nails where I'm probably vitamin deficient. It's probably like iron or something. And so they were like breaking across the ridge lines where they weren't as sturdy. So I just clipped them all down and filed them, and I'm just letting them be for a minute. I was very excited to have nails again because for a while they were too brittle for me to have anything. Let's see. I always feel like I should use a glitter glue no matter what, because I have so many wrinkles and ridges and lines in my eyes that it just makes it easier for any shimmer to stick. I don't typically like wetting my brush and using shimmers that way. Plus, I don't find that to be very effective for what I need. But anyways, back to Dashing Diva. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, they had announced that they were going to add like a direct sales component to their business, which felt so backwards, right? Because like this company had gotten into Target, and so a lot of people were getting their stuff at Target. I see them quite a bit at TJ Maxx. Usually it's like last year's styles. So like, for example, I bought a set of Valentine's Day nails there last week, which they had Christmas out, but now they've moved on to Valentine's Day. So even though it's last Valentine's Day styles, it's still months ahead of the next holiday, if that makes any sense. So I typically go back pretty frequently looking to see if I can find different styles. It's actually kind of a sickness. I need to slow down or use my stickers more frequently, I think. Which right now I'm just putting on the shade Scene. I've been dying to use the shade. It's like this beautiful taupey shimmer, like just metallic shimmer. So yeah, I didn't understand the business move that they were making by going to a direct sales. It seemed like they should be getting in more retailers. Oh, they were already in Ulta too. And it was like, just get more of the retailers to carry your stuff. Plus they have a component where you can buy directly from their website. Well, enough diehard Dashing Diva fans, including myself, were a bit outspoken about that, saying, you know, the MLM model is a disappointment to move to that. I understand if you are an MLM and you move more towards a direct to consumer approach, I'm not going to fault you for being a direct sales setup and wanting to move away from that. Like Tupperware, I think, Beauty Counter, I don't know if they still have any MLM component to their business. And you know, a lot of people won't buy it because, oh, it's an MLM, but I just won't buy directly from somebody personally. I respect fully these companies that are moving away from that, but not completely abandoning that setup, because to me, there are some really hardworking people that depend on that for their income. And it would be devastating to have a company announce, we're going into Target and, oh, by the way, you will no longer be a consultant for us because we're doing away with that program, period, end of story. Like, I feel like you kind of get to see the writing on the wall a bit when you start seeing your company that you're doing direct sales for move to a direct to consumer approach. And so you have a heads up, you know, you have a heads up that you should look for a different direct sales company. You should look for a different position, you know, a job. And so that to me makes sense to operate in that way. So I don't really hold that against companies that do have a direct sales component to their business. I just don't shop from the direct sales part, if that makes sense. Right back. Okay, I had to go wet my beauty sponge, and I also had to open my window because it's getting warm in here. And I know I could go change into a short sleeve shirt, but it's like, I don't want to. I want to be comfy cozy when I leave this room, because then it's not going to be cold anymore, or it's not going to be warm anymore. It's cooler out there. You did not need to know all of that. You truly don't care. I'm putting a lip treatment on. I feel like I've worn most of it away. I think I'm going to use a drop of this and a drop of this. So this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac in the shade 10 Ultra Fair. News to me, I'm not ultra fair, I'm simply fair. And then the Tarte Found Sealer in 13N Fair Neutral. I really wear like 12N or 12B in Tarte, but they don't make that shade in this formula, and I love the formula. And so I've just kind of been mixing. And for the most part, it's been working. Now, there is one foundation I have that I am not loving, and I was going to declutter it, decided not to declutter it, and now it's like an aggressive hate pan, and I kind of feel like I should maybe let it go. I have so many good foundations that I want to use or try, and I really should not be wasting time with an aggressive hate pan, but I haven't quite accepted yet that I'm okay letting it go. So back to MLMs. I can't think of any brands that I actively buy from personally that still have any direct sales component to it. I used to be a consultant for Origami Owl, so sometimes you'll see me wearing some Origami Owl jewelry. I have it. I haven't gotten rid of it, so why would I not wear it? A lot of it I still think is really cute. I still have a crap ton of charms that I can use to make custom lockets. I thought it was a really cool concept back in the day. And then, you know, of course, as happens in any industry, there were some copycats and some not so great knockoffs too. Some were good, some were really good, but some questionable website ads on Facebook. So again, I signed up to be a consultant or whatever, so that I could get a discount on the products just like I did for 31. And of course, I loved the, you know, kit you could buy when it was like on sale for joining for $79 or $99, what have you. And you got all this crap with it. And that was back when I really didn't understand a lot of the psychology behind my purchasing habits, which, not that I have a true grasp on it now, but I do understand a lot more why I am the way that I am when it comes to purchasing things or collecting things. I have an entire neglected craft room, and that really depresses me sometimes. I try not to think about it. Dang it. Okay. I was hoping I still had a brush. Oh, I do. This is technically like an eyeshadow brush. Yeah, this is Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques, but I really like it for in the small areas around my eyes. So I'm going to use the Ciate Extraordinary Brightening Under Eye Perfector. Perfector? Yeah, Perfector. I don't super love this, if we're being honest. I'm trying to muddle my way through it and wait for a really good sale on an under eye corrector that I'd really like to use. I'm getting really self-conscious about how dark my under eyes and inner caverns and outer corner have gotten, so I don't know how much longer I can last. Not that I would throw this away, I wouldn't be using so much of it because I would be using a different color to get the really dark spots, and then I would use this more here to brighten. Anyways, yeah, I forgot what train of thought I was on. I know I was talking about Origami Owl and how I still wear some of the products sometimes, but I can't think of any direct sales companies that I still consume anything from or shop from. But the same thing happened to me with Origami Owl that did with 31, which I was a 31 consultant first, and then I quit, and then I ended up being an Origami Owl consultant, and then quit that. It was kind of off and on. It wasn't like that was what I was doing for money. Again, I signed up for the discount because that was really my motivation. But I am very much like these are Pokemon, you gotta catch them all when I first get into a hobby or a product that I like. And I have to be very careful not to be that way. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of like mental gymnastics to keep myself from doing that. Gonna go in with the Tarte Ultra Creamy, which I will say, I think the Ciate plus the Ultra Creamy is definitely a combination I don't like, so that's not helping me at all. I think it's way too creamy underneath my eyes, and so it makes it more creasy. Because I don't really have dry under eyes anymore. I've been like very studious about using my eye creams. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I wish I'd started using them before I started getting these dark circles, but you know, you live and learn sometimes. So, I mean, you can see in my beauty room you can even see in my past videos, if you look at my collection and declutter, the very first one that I did, or the very first collection video I did, I had a whole video dedicated to ColourPop because that is like, that was where the addiction began. And it is an addiction for sure for me. Not that it's always a negative thing. It is something that I enjoy. I do struggle some with like how I view myself, with how much makeup I have, how I view my collection. I kind of go back and forth sometimes. I especially avoid any videos that talk about overconsumption, underconsumption. I'm consuming, okay? Like I am a consumer. So I'm sure I will get some judgment and hate at some point for how much crap I have, and that is quite okay. I understand it's not for everyone. Okay. I don't feel like using cream products, and it is like 6 o'clock in the evening, so it's not like I need it to last all day or anything. So we're not going to do that. If you've never done a get ready with me before, I always do like primer, eyeshadow, under eyes, and then I do my cheeks while my under eyes just kind of like self-set. And then if I need to powder them, I do. And then I do my under eyes, eyebrows, mascara, all that jazz. And then lips last. So it's a very much trust the process feeling for me. I'm going to use my Creme Shop Pusheen brushes because, like, are they not so cute? And then I have this Complex Culture bronzer that I got from Ipsy. I miss this brand. Nobody liked getting it in their box. They were really usually pretty ticked off when they got it in their box, but I liked it. It was Ipsy's in-house brand, so I get it, you know, like it's your own in-house brand, you control the prices, so it does seem kind of dumb to be like, oh, we're sending you this highlighter worth $35. Why do I have a flake in my, I have a bunch of flakes in my hair. I used a scalp scrub today and apparently did not get all of the stuff I scrubbed out, or all the stuff I got loose out. That did not go on very evenly, and that is, I believe, user error. So we're just gonna, I didn't make sure I had quite enough tapped off of my brush. I have to be very gentle with bronzer because your girl is pale. I used to put bronzer like here, and I have been finding I like it much more at like the tops of the apples of my cheeks. I like it better like right above the eyebrows. So, you know, a lot of people say to do a 3. Mine is kind of like a wonky looking 3. Yeah, it looks about like that for me. And then I just take what's left over here on the jawline, just to bring a tiny bit of color back. It's not as necessary when I'm wearing like this foundation because it's a better shade for me, but if I get a foundation that's just like way too light, it's necessary. Oh, my ear itches. You can tell that like it's getting to be cold here because everything's getting so dry. That's, I tend to scratch more when I'm dry, like right in here, dry, scratch, itchy. All right, I'm gonna use the Ofra blush in the shade Bellini. I was watching somebody's collection and declutter recently, and they hated this blush. Like, with a fiery passion. And I got this, again, like in a box, a subscription box. This was like a long time ago. It had to be BoxyCharm, because I only had BoxyCharm when I lived in Georgia, I'm pretty sure. And not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure I got it in BoxyCharm. Anyways, no one cares, Jennifer. Just tell the story. I broke it. I dropped it and I broke it, and it did not fare well, and I had no idea how to repress anything, and I also just could not be bothered with it. So I finally threw it away, and I missed it. But like, I waited until I had missed it and couldn't stop thinking about it for like 2 or 3 years. And I finally went on Mercari and I bought it new in box. Somebody else that I guess had gotten it in a subscription box. And I really love this stupid shade of blush. It's just like, I can see where someone darker complected than me would not love it because it's buildable. That is one thing I like about Ofra's formula, is I feel like it's very buildable. So you can like go super sheer, or you can like build it up to be more oomph to it. And it doesn't fade on me typically. So I can see somebody not quite as fair as me not loving that shade. All right, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Rosé All Day Petal Glow in the shade Soft Petal. I've had this thing since the pandemic, and it doesn't really smell like tea rose anymore, and it makes me sad. It did smell like rose, but like a light tea rose scent. And it reminded me of my mom's perfume, just that she wore a lot when I was growing up. So just, you know, some lovely childhood memories locked into that there. And that's so sad. I was hoping maybe if I disturbed it some that I'd be able to smell it. Oh, almost. So I don't think I will ever pan or complete a highlighter, but I at least feel like I've given this one a lot of love, especially for a highlighter that I got as like a gift with purchase and didn't even choose. It was just like a bonus that I wasn't expecting. So that was nice. And I've just held on to it all these years through declutters and stuff because it's a pretty highlighter. She's cute. Archie talks all the time. That's our orange cat. And sometimes I forget to like mention it in videos because I'm so used to him talking all the time that sometimes I just tune it out. But yeah, that little meow that you hear, that's Archie. Archie! Meow, meow. He's a mess. What do I want to do for lower lash line? I kind of feel like using this shade Headbang and seeing if that works as like a satin. This could be a grave mistake or it could be great. We'll see. Not terrible. not always what I'm going for when I do my makeup. It's not terrible, but you know, it's again, trust the process. I do want to say, if you currently sell or buy from an MLM or a direct sales company, no shade to you. I don't think any less of you. I don't think any differently of you. It's not for me anymore. It got to be something that really gave me the ick while I was doing it, especially the more each company changed their commission structure to favor people that were in higher level leadership positions and punish people that were in lower levels that weren't doing as much in sales and were just maybe doing it as a hobby or something on the side or as a discount to get the products for themselves. And I totally understand, you know, if you don't want people selling your product that aren't there to seriously sell it, it is your right to change your business model as the business owner to one that promotes, you know, more people to sell your products. It definitely, each time the structure changed, weeded out people that, you know, weren't as serious about it. I was not always the first to go, but probably should have been. I would have a party and all my friends would feel sorry for me. Although I have to say, a lot of people really did like 31 and Origami Owl. But I'm sure I had some pity sales as well. And I really didn't understand it when I was like working Facebook groups, and some people would be like really mad at me for adding them to a Facebook group. But I get it now. I don't get mad. I get annoyed if I decline and then I get added again. Or if I decline a party, but then I still see like all of the updates from it because their group is public and that's all that they're doing with their life. It does kind of annoy me a little bit, but I'm not going to get my panties in a wad over it. Like, you know, it is what it is. I feel like my face is sticky today, and sometimes that happens and I need to use a setting powder. I really need to clean my brushes. Okay. This brush isn't as large as I would like for a powder brush, but it's at least not densely packed. I don't like using a densely packed brush for powder because I feel like then it just cakes on. I really couldn't tell you why some days I have this feeling and some days I don't, when it's literally the same products that I use. I haven't found a pattern other than maybe it's just like my skincare routine for the day was better hydrating, and so the products didn't sink in as much because my skin was better prepped. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. Okay, that feels better. Bro, would you stop? This cat is being a menace. Archie. Meow, meow. Okay, I have kicked him out. Not really, he asked to leave. Okay, I'm back. It's actually been quite a while. My husband came home with dinner, so I finished this up, had dinner, did my lips, because obviously what would be the point in doing my lips before dinner? I used the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Lumiere, and then the Natasha Denona, is this, does it say what it is? Just a liquid lipstick. Yeah, it doesn't say like what line or whatever, but it's in the shade Dahlia, number 24. It feels dry and almost sticky. I don't know if it'll dry down more, but I think I'm definitely going to want a gloss over this. But in the meantime, this is what we're working with. Rounding up, final thoughts on the Urban Decay Naked Metal Mania palette. I think this is a really pretty palette. I like the look that I did with this. I like kind of like the grungier, like 90s, 2000s era, like emo, dark brown that you can get out of this, like the almost black brown, the cool brown. I like the vibes. I don't know that I'll ever use this shade. It's a little yellow for me, but I know that I'll get plenty of use out of the rest of the palette. It's really pretty. So that's where we're at with that. Also, the cover is so pretty. And if nothing else, it just makes me want to use it just for the cover. So that is one palette down and countless more to go. So this is definitely a series that I think I can incorporate into my channel. If you'd like to see more of this, let me know. If you'd like this video, I hope you'll give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more makeup and beauty content from me, hit that subscribe button and I'll have more coming at you. I hope wherever you are in the world, you have a wonderful day. Bye. Okay, so apparently don't leave your iPad in your drawer with your single eyeshadows because you'll lose it. And if you'd like to see more if you'd like to see more makeup and, oh my God.